Okay, I want to just cut to the chase, bringing in our great friend, former senior White House advisor and founder of America First Legal, Steve Miller. Okay, Steve, thank you. Last night, I thought I won one. Let me just play this clip real fast. I thought I won one. Here it goes. Some free advice for President Biden. Sir, it's okay to come out against communism. It's all right. All right. So today they came out against communism. All right. I'm going to call that a victory. But then, and this is where I want to go with you just for a moment or two, Tony Blinken, the Secretary of State, wants the United Nations, right, that bastion of freedom and democracy. They want, I guess, the human rights, or they're going to come in and look at our history of racism rather than go to Havana and look at their history of totalitarian, state-owned communism. Now, you got to explain this to me. It's like I won one, but then I lost it. And I can't imagine. I mean, who cares what the UN? That's what I'm really. Who cares what the UN thinks?
Well, apparently Tony Blinken does, Joe Biden does, and maybe 5 or 6 other people whose address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But that's pretty much about it. You know, I'm talking to you live right now, Larry, from sunny, beautiful South Florida, the home of the incredible Cuban exile community who fled communism for a better life here in America. It is truly astonishing that this administration would ask the United Nations to investigate oppression in America and not oppression in communist Cuba. That tells you everything you need to know about their skewed and warped values.
Yeah, you know, you're right. Look, it's this, America is always wrong, I guess. And I guess it just permeates, even a guy like Blinken, who people tell me is a good guy, a smart guy. You know, you and I have a lot of friends, a godfather to his kids and things of that sort, relatively tough on China. But when I hear this stuff, they still believe, I guess, America is wrong. Okay, not how we corrected it, not how our democracy is, you know, so great and improved things over the last 250 years. It's America's always wrong. And I guess, Steve, we may be plagued with this for another 3 years.
We're going to be plagued for it as long as this current administration is in power. Look, I draw a straight through line from that embarrassing summit in Anchorage with the Chinese diplomats, where China went on this long tirade about America being this evil, imperialist, racist country. And Blinken's response wasn't to say, how dare you slander our country on our soil, land at the free home of the brave that's done more to advance the cause of human liberty than any nation that has ever existed since humanity's existed. Instead, he said, well, at least we apologize for our mistakes. I mean, could you imagine that? And you're talking to a country, in that case, that is committing active genocide. And now here you have this playing out all over again with Cuba. This is a murderous regime, Larry. It's a murderous regime. And they imprison their political opponents who are rotting away in jail, freedom fighters, as we speak. President Trump said we are not going to restore normal diplomatic relations until every political prisoner is freed. Where's that moral clarity today to say we want free and fair elections in Cuba, all political prisoners freed, and a restoration of democracy? Is that too much to ask for here in our own hemisphere?
I know, it should be just laid out just like that. A, B, C. That's where we should be going. Really, they're being embarrassed in front of the world. It looks pretty bad. I don't know internally. Maybe it is collapsing. Maybe it isn't. But we should take advantage of that. And you're right. Boom, 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 boom. Let me switch gears for you. By the way, it's a great shot, whether it's the river or the intercoastal or whatever you got there. It's a terrific shot. I'm very jealous. Apparently, the new budget's coming out of the Senate is going to defund Homeland Security at a time when there's, 180,000 illegals crossing the border, and we basically have a free and open border. So they're going to defund the Homeland Security Department. What do you think of that?
It's really a dereliction. It's the only way to put it. They need to be adding thousands of ICE officers, thousands of border agents to deal with what, by any measure, is the worst border crisis in U.S. history. Washington Examiner just came out recently with numbers saying that June is going to show almost 200,000 people were apprehended. And those are just the numbers that are apprehended. On top of that, not only are they trying to destroy the ICE workforce through attrition, but they're also talking about hiring to patrol the border, not law enforcement officers with badges and guns, but they're talking about shifting it to what you might call social workers. So the budget calls for a study from DHS to figure out how to transition the job of defending the border away from law enforcement officers. The cartels have to be laughing all the way to the bank. This is just pure money making for drug cartels, human traffickers, and human smugglers who are already getting through this border without even having to try. And that for them would just be the icing on the cake. This is what happens when you put people at every position of power in government who are radical left. The Democratic Party that we grew up with, Larry, that you know very well, of old school liberals, is gone.
Right.
And that's a tragedy. It's been replaced with the new left.
Thank you for that. And, you know, I mentioned that at the top of the show in my riff. That's exact. I started out as a Democrat. You know, Reagan was a Democrat. Trump was a Democrat. But they were capitalist Democrats, and they believed in America, you know, strength Democrats, too. It was a whole different ballgame than the woke left that we're seeing now. You know, it's just...
And they believed in free expression, and they believed in tolerance, and they believed in the open exchange of ideas. The liberals that you grew up with, Larry, the Democrats that you grew up with, Larry, would be horrified by the reflexive totalitarianism of the new left that wants to stifle free debate, free speech, and free thought at every turn.
You know, you made me think with the border being replaced by social workers. That's the defund police crowd, Black Lives Matter and all the crazy woke people. They want to replace police forces with psychologists and social workers to go out and counsel
it's the same
gang members who are killing each other.
In fact, I'm really glad you made that point, because it's a through line. What they're trying to do with ICE and Border Patrol and police in Baltimore, San Francisco, and all throughout the country, it's all the same. It's a war against law enforcement, and it's going to make us all less safe, especially the poorest among us.
Boy, that's the truth. They are going to suffer the most. They suffer the most from violence. They suffer the most from inflation. They suffer the most. By the way, the economy on the border is going to be very damaged by this stuff. There's no question about it. This is a business show, sort of, partly. It's not good. None of this is good. We're into declinism, Steve Miller. I hate declinism. I want America first. All right, go and enjoy whatever you're doing. It's a beautiful shot. Enjoy yourself. You're lovely to come on. I appreciate it, as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.